Hi guys, welcome back to another session with Leverage TV. I'm Priyank Jain, Vice President with Leverage Edu, and today we are going to talk about a very important aspect of your education abroad, which is how do you go about securing your visa. And I know there have been multiple sessions that we have spoken about visa requirements, different visa interview processes, and everything. But I think right now it's all the more important as we are moving towards almost towards the end of September intake. A lot of universities are still open though accepting applications, and if you're still looking to go abroad, you should definitely get in touch with one of our counselors leverage. But coming back, uh, visa is the most important, if not is one of the most important, if not the most important aspect of your education abroad. Even after spending some 3 4 months 6 months of your time in different parts of or in different aspects of admission process, if you're not able to uh, crack the visa, or if you're not able to get a visa, it just it just it's very difficult to kind of internalize. So I what I'm going to talk about right today is how to secure your visa for UK. Since most of the other countries and most of the intakes for other countries have already been closed, visa interviews have also been closed. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about visa with USA, visa with Canada. I'm going to spend some time talking about the visa process for UK and the student visa process in UK, since that is again the country that is still open for fall intake. And a lot of students who are going for September intake, fall intake, are in the process of obtaining their visas, applying for their visas. So I just hope this session is useful for all of them. So what are the different steps? What are the different steps in kind of going about making an application for your visa? What are the different documents that you need for your application of visa? What is the kind of visa fees that you have to pay? What is the turnaround time like from an application of a visa to getting a visa? And then uh, 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 what happens when there's any visa interview? In what all circumstances is there a visa interview? So we're going to talk about all of these things step by step. So the first step, the first thing that we're going to talk about is what are the different things, or what are the so how do you so what part does visa come in? What do you actually need in your hand to get a visa? So the first and foremost thing that you need to proceed ahead with your visa application for a student visa application is your letter of acceptance from the university. That is called different things in different countries. For UK, it's called CAS. For Canada, it's called LOA. For USA, it's called I-20. So we are going to. So this is one of the most important document that just kind of validates that university has accepted your admission. You have paid. You have fulfilled all of your condition, if any, they were there on your offer, and university is kind of ready to move on with your candidature for their for that particular program. So that is one of the most important piece of document that you need before you apply for the visa. The second thing that you need is and I think broadly everyone knows that you need to have a certain funds in your bank account for to be maintained for a certain duration, usually 28 days. uh, uh, but there is a kind of workaround for that as well. We'll come on to that later. But there's a certain minimum fund requirement that you need to maintain in your bank account, usually 28 days, to uh, before your application, visa application, and before getting your visa. So now, what is that fund? What is it that funds that you need to kind of require to maintain? That fund usually is your tuition fees plus your living expenses minus anything that you might have paid as a deposit amount as part of fulfilling the conditions on your offer. So that is a fund that you need to kind of maintain. Now, for example, if your tuition fees is, let's say, £15,000, living expenses in UK roughly would be around £8,000, so which comes around £23,000, and you've paid a deposit of £3,000 is part of your condition. So you need to show some £20,000 in your bank account for more than 28 days to file a visa application. Uh, Mind you, again, we are today only talking about the visa process, or the how to kind of process your visa or secure a visa for UK, not for any other country, because there's a different. The process is totally different, although the fundamentals remain the same, but the process is totally different for Canada and USA, for example. So in Canada, there's a totally different requirement on how you need to maintain the funds as against the UK. So we are only going to focus today on your how you kind of go about uh, obtaining a UK visa. The second thing that you need then is to know what type of visa would you have to apply to. So that is again one of the important things. So in UK, for example, the visa you have to apply to is Tier 4 visa, or which has recently been changed to D student visa. So that is a visa on which you will go out for studies. So while starting your application, visa application, or while kind of filling in the form, it's very important that you check or kind of select the right visa type for your visa application. Then what are the documents like that you need? We've already spoken about a couple of documents which are very important before your visa application. What are the other documents like what that you need to process your visa? So few things that you need is a valid passport. Your passport should not get expired in the next 6 months. That's a valid passport from a relevant country. We've already talked about the evidence of funds and the letter of acceptance or CAS from the university. Then you need a TB test to be approved in India. So TB test should not be, let's say, more than uh, 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 a certain duration, a week old, before your visa application or before your visa interview date. Then you need to have all the documentation that is required as part of your admission. So be it consolidated mark sheets, be it a letter of acceptance from the university. So you need all those documents that you have submitted to the university for securing their admission is what you also need for your visa application. All those documents needs to be notarized. So that is one other thing that is very, very important that you need for your visa application. So is there any visa application fees that you need to pay? Yes. So there's the visa application fees for specifically for Tier 4 visa or D student visa for UK is £348 that you need to pay while kind of while making the application for visa. So the process works like you log into the website, you select a relevant slot, and you book an appointment for the visa. So you may or may not get the interview. That again depends on the profile, but that is how it works. You need to pay the amount, book the slot, and uh, schedule an appointment for that. So now, if you get a visa interview, let's say, and so what is visa interview for? Who all students get the visa interview? What do officials check for the visa interview? So we are also going to spend a little time kind of talking about all these things. So visa interview specifically for a student visa is usually to check the authenticity or genuinity of the students who are going out for their higher studies. So especially the after UK has opened its port, kind of has moved to offering post-study work visa, there have been a lot of instances where a lot of people kind of use as an opportunity to go out who don't intend to attend any university, attend any school, and the only intention is to just use this visa route to go out and spend some time there. So that is where if there is, let's say, if your profile is not clean, and what I mean by clean is where authorities or officials needs a little more clarity from you that what are you going to do once you land in the UK? What is your objective of going? What is the kind of university that you're looking for? What are your plans once you finish your studies? So they ask you all sort of these questions. So if you are genuinely going there to study, if you're genuinely going there to complete your education, to get more to complete your learning, I don't think you have to kind of worry about the any part of the interview. And even if you are kind of going there with the intention of working or studying there for a year and then working for 2 years, even that is completely acceptable. So what might not be acceptable is if you don't intend to kind of study there at all, and if you don't intend to even show up at a college. So that is something that authorities or officials take very, very seriously, and that is when they kind of have an added layer of kind of process in terms of visa interview for students from some regions, especially. And when you are working with your counselor, when you are working with one of the persons who will be helping out, so these conditions are kind of laid out. So let's say, for example, at the cost of generalizing, a lot of students from Punjab and Gujarat do uh, kind of get this visa interview, and all they want to check is whether students intend to go out or intends to kind of go to UK with the intention of studying or not. So that is again there. Now, the one last thing that you need to be aligned on in terms of this entire visa process is, you need to be very, very prepared. You need to know everything. So even if someone has helped you with the admission process, even if someone has kind of hand held you with this entire process, you need to kind of be on top of everything. Why are you applying to certain university? Why are you applying to certain course? What will you do after completing that course? How will you fund your education? How will you fund your living expenses there? Are you where are you going to study, etc., etc.? So you have to be on top of everything. You need to know everything of what, how, and why of the admission process in UK. Now, you also need to be aligned with the immigration laws of a particular country that you're applying to, and you need to kind of abide by that. So that is something that authorities or in an interview also check. So that is one thing that is kind of you need to keep in mind while preparing for the interview or while kind of showing up for a visa appointment. Usually, now coming back to how much turnaround time does it take for the visa interview to happen? So it doesn't take usually more than 2 weeks for you to get your visa if everything is sorted out, if everything is kind of crystal clear. A lot of our students have even got the visa in about a week's time. So UK in that sense moves very, very swiftly, and that is why it's still possible for students to kind of consider fall intake even though the time is pretty less, because the time it takes to get a visa, the time it takes to get a gas, the time it takes to get an offer is really, really quick and is really, really fast at this point of time. So those are the things that you need to keep in mind to secure a visa, especially UK. I hope you find this session helpful. I hope you kind of this helps you in planning if you have an interview, if you have an appointment in the coming few days. I hope this session kind of helps you figure a few things out and kind of helps you to plan, even if you're planning to go abroad and just starting to think about it. This kind of gives you an idea that all is not lost and there's still time for you to go in the next in the intake of September 2021. So that's it from me today. I hope you like the session. I hope this helps you well. Until next time, bye bye. Good evening.